Have you ever thought that the most dangerous enemy after turning 50 isn't wrinkles nor slower steps, but that silent moment when your heart suddenly stops and no one is there to help? Picture this. You're sitting in your familiar room, a warm glow from the lamp falling on an unfinished book. Suddenly, a strange pressure builds in your chest. Your breath grows short. Your trembling hand searches for something to hold on to. No ambulance sirens, no loved ones rushing in. Just you, your heart betraying you, and one chilling question echoing in the silence. Is this the end? But fate doesn't always get the final say. Some people survive because they had a plan, because they knew the exact, simple steps that could save their lives. And today, you're about to discover that secret. Number 1. Listen deeply to the warning signals from your body. Many heart attacks don't begin with drama. They start in silence. One of the most life-saving skills adults over 60 can develop is the ability to recognize subtle changes in the body before they become an emergency. This isn't about spreading fear or overreacting. It's about reclaiming control through awareness and wise response. Every heart sends signals before it fails. The question is, are we listening? Unlike what you often see on television, someone clutching their chest and collapsing, real-life heart attacks, especially in older adults, frequently start with mild, unusual sensations. It may be pressure in the center of the chest, discomfort in the shoulder or back, or unexplained fatigue. Some people feel as if something heavy is sitting on them. Others notice shortness of breath with even light activity, or experience dizziness, cold sweats, or nausea. In women and people with diabetes, these symptoms are often more complex to predict and far more subtle. Physically, these signs suggest the heart muscle may not be getting enough oxygen. The body is smart. It sends warnings before it breaks. However, psychologically, many older adults hesitate out of politeness, habit, or a sense of pride. Thoughts like, "I don't want to bother anyone," or "I'll just wait and see," are common and deeply human. But that hesitation is costly. According to the Mayo Clinic, heart muscle damage worsens with every minute of delay during a heart attack. Every 5 minutes can make the difference between a full recovery and a permanent injury. So what should you do? First, know you're normal. If walking from the living room to the kitchen suddenly leaves you short of breath, that's a change. If your usual afternoon tiredness shifts into unusual exhaustion, that's a signal. Don't brush it off. Pause. Sit. Reflect. Is this normal for me? If this were happening to someone I love, would I want them to ignore it? If the answer is no, take action. Call 911. Don't wait for the pain to convince you. Think of Ruth, 69, a retired librarian in Colorado. She felt a strange tightness in her jaw and was so fatigued that she had to sit down while doing laundry. She hesitated, then called her daughter, who urged her to call emergency services. Ruth was having a heart attack. Early intervention saved her life and helped her recover quickly. Listening to your body is a learned skill, and it begins with self-respect. In a society that often tells older adults to just tough it out, paying attention to your body is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of wisdom. Your body is speaking. Your job is to listen and respond with care and consideration. Number 2, personalize emergency response before it's needed. In 2019, a 73-year-old man in Ohio collapsed from a heart attack while watching TV alone. His phone was charging in the kitchen. He never reached it. Paramedics found him too late. The autopsy showed he could have survived, if help had arrived just 10 minutes earlier. Stories like his are not rare. They are real, and they are preventable. What's truly shocking is how many lives are lost not because of the heart attack itself, but because no plan was in place to call for help. Heart attacks can come with little warning, and when they do, they rob us of time, strength, and clarity. For older adults who live alone, the odds may seem stacked against survival, but they don't have to be. With preparation, technology, and simple habits, a solitary moment of crisis can become a moment of strength, not surrender. Today's technology offers powerful tools such as smartphones, medical alert systems, and voice-activated assistants. But these tools are useless if they aren't set up, accessible, and practiced. Devices must be within reach, even from the floor. A phone in a drawer, a tablet across the room, or an emergency number that isn't saved. All become barriers when seconds decide fate. Install voice activation that allows a single phrase to trigger a 911 call. Train smart devices to respond to words like, "help me," or "emergency." Wear a medical alert pendant or smartwatch that detects falls and automatically sends alerts. These tools are no longer expensive luxuries. They are essential safety nets, especially for those living alone. Place printed emergency instructions in key areas, such as next to the bed, on the refrigerator, and near the phone. Keep it short and direct. Sit down. Breathe slowly. Chew aspirin. Call 911. The mind under stress forgets even the most obvious things. A reminder within view can be the difference between taking calm action and succumbing to paralyzing fear. Update your phone's ICE contacts. Fill in the medical ID with all critical information, medications, allergies, conditions, and emergency numbers. This isn't just for you. It's for the paramedics who might arrive when you cannot speak. Practice the steps weekly. Say, "Call 911" out loud. Visualize each move. Where to sit, where to find the phone, where the aspirin is stored. Repeat it until your body remembers. Preparation should be second nature, not a script you fumble through while your heart is failing. This is not fear-driven, it's dignity-driven. It's about taking back control from uncertainty and planting confidence in its place. Personalizing your emergency plan means deciding in advance that your life is worth saving and giving it the tools to be saved. Do it now. Don't wait for a close call. Take a walk through your home today and ask the hard questions. The answers could shape your survival. In quiet preparation lies the loudest power, the power to live. Number 3, create a home rescue kit, a practice of preparedness. Trusted across continents. In 2017, a national campaign was launched in Sweden, encouraging all seniors over 65 to keep an emergency action box in their homes. The box contained aspirin, medical records, emergency contacts, and a step-by-step guide in case of a heart attack or stroke. After just 1 year, the Swedish Heart-Lung Foundation reported a 22% increase in survival rates among elderly patients who used the kits during cardiac events. Similar models have since been adopted across Germany, the Netherlands, and most recently, community programs in Oregon and Vermont. The message is clear across continents. Preparation saves lives. A home rescue kit is not about fear. It's about clarity when the mind is clouded, and strength when the body feels weakest. Heart attacks often strike without warning. The first 10 minutes can be a fog of panic or a moment of focused action, depending entirely on what has already been put in place. This kit should be kept in more than one place: by the bed, in the kitchen, and near the front door. Each version must be clearly labeled, easily accessible, and designed with shaky hands in mind. Inside, include a 325 milligrams chewable aspirin in sealed foil packaging, check the expiration date regularly, a small water bottle, a printed list of medications, allergies, and medical conditions, as well as emergency contact numbers. Add a short guide. Sit down. Call 911. Chew aspirin. Breathe slowly. Wait for help. Many paramedics in both the US and Europe are now trained to ask, "Do you have a home kit?" as soon as they enter a residence. Having one speeds up care and ensures the right decisions are made, especially if the patient is disoriented or unconscious. It also relieves family members and caregivers, knowing that a plan is already in place. In France, it's common for doctors to distribute emergency planning cards to older patients during checkups. In the U.S., specific Medicare Advantage programs now offer printed action sheets and even send aspirin samples to seniors for them to store at home. These are not isolated gestures. They reflect a growing understanding across medical cultures. Independent living must be matched by proactive safety. For those living alone, a personal touch can make all the difference. Include a note in your kit, written in your hand. You've planned for this. Stay calm. Help is coming. That one line, in a familiar script, can bring powerful reassurance during the longest few minutes of life. Building a home rescue kit is not just smart, it's an act of dignity. It tells your future self, I cared enough to be ready. And that message echoes far beyond your front door. It reassures children, doctors, and neighbors. Most of all, it provides you with a grounded, silent partner in the moments that matter most. Let what others have proven across the world inspire action today. Number 4, train the breath, regain calm, and protect the heart. Amid a heart attack, one of the first things to spiral out of control is not just the heart, it's the breath. Panic sets in, the chest tightens, thoughts race, and suddenly, breathing becomes shallow and frantic. This physiological chain reaction only worsens the crisis. The more anxious the mind, the faster the breath. The quicker the breath, the more complex the heart must work. It's a dangerous loop that accelerates damage. But what if the breath could become an ally instead of an accomplice? Medical research from Stanford University's Department of Cardiovascular Medicine shows that slow, controlled breathing can significantly reduce heart rate, blood pressure, and anxiety levels within just 2 minutes. The parasympathetic nervous system, the body's natural calming mechanism, is activated through deliberate breath work. This not only reduces panic, but also conserves oxygen and slows the heart's demand during a cardiac event. The solution is simple but powerful. Train a breathing pattern that becomes second nature. One widely taught method, known in both European cardiac rehab clinics and U.S. senior wellness centers, is the 4-6 rhythm. Inhale gently through the nose for 4 seconds. Hold for a moment. Exhale slowly through the mouth for 6 seconds. Repeat, focusing not on perfection, but on consistency. This breathing style is used not only in cardiac care, but also in military stress training, meditation therapy, and high-risk medical procedures to stabilize the body under pressure. The most crucial element is repetition. Practicing this breathing pattern daily, even while watching television or resting in bed, builds muscle memory. That familiarity becomes a life-saving anchor during the chaos of a heart event. The breath is the only system in the body that can be controlled both voluntarily and automatically. It is, in essence, a built-in emergency tool. In a documented case from a hospital in Lyon, France, a 79-year-old man experiencing a myocardial infarction stabilized his heart rhythm long enough to wait for paramedics by using the same controlled breathing method his doctor had taught him during routine visits. He later described it not as a technique, but as something I had practiced so many times, my body just knew what to do. Breath is not just air, it is control, presence, and power. When trained intentionally, it becomes a bridge between fear and safety. It costs nothing, requires no technology, and is always with you. In moments when everything else feels uncertain, the breath remains, ready, steady, and able to lead the body back toward life. Let this practice begin today, not in fear of tomorrow, but in quiet strength for whatever may come. Number 5. Leave a personal message. Let your voice speak when you cannot. Why should anyone bother to leave a written or recorded message if they're alone? Because one day the person reading or hearing it might be the one keeping that heart beating. During a heart attack, every second matters. And yet, when help finally arrives, the person in need may not be able to speak. Breathing becomes labored, words slip away, and decisions must be made fast. In that critical window, one small message can become a lifeline. Emergency responders across the United States, Germany, and the United Kingdom are trained to look for personal health details the moment they enter a home. In the U.S., programs like File of Life have helped thousands of first responders make fast, informed decisions based on a straightforward card taped to a refrigerator. Across Europe, many seniors now record brief audio messages on their smartphones that can be accessed without a password, offering not just medical information but human presence. A personal message doesn't need to be complex. It should be straightforward, concise, and easily accessible. A short note on the lock screen of a phone. My name is Evelyn. I have heart disease and asthma. I take blood thinners. My son's number is 4155 XXXXXX. That alone could help paramedics administer oxygen without conflict, avoid giving contraindicated medications, and reach loved ones immediately. This message can also be spoken, a 15-second audio clip saved as emergency info. In a moment of crisis, hearing a familiar voice, even one's own, can center the responder and deepen their care. It reminds everyone involved that this isn't just a medical case, it's a life. Creating this message is more than a safety measure. It's a legacy. It's a promise to those who care. If I cannot speak, I have still made my voice known. And that act of preparing something so small with so much purpose has saved lives. Take time today to write or record your message. Place it where it will be found. Let your words stand in for your voice when you need them most. Because silence may come, but with preparation, your story continues to speak. Number 5. Leave a personal message. Let your voice speak when you cannot. Why should anyone bother to leave a written or recorded message if they're alone? Because one day, the person reading or hearing it might be the one keeping that heart beating. During a heart attack, every second matters. And yet, when help finally arrives, the person in need may not be able to speak. Breathing becomes labored, words slip away, and decisions must be made fast. In that critical window, one small message can become a lifeline. Emergency responders across the United States, Germany, and the United Kingdom are trained to look for personal health details the moment they enter a home. In the U.S., programs like File of Life have helped thousands of first responders make fast, informed decisions based on a straightforward card taped to a refrigerator. Across Europe, many seniors now record brief audio messages on their smartphones that can be accessed without a password, offering not just medical information but human presence. A personal message doesn't need to be complex. It should be straightforward, concise, and easily accessible. A short note on the lock screen of a phone. My name is Evelyn. I have heart disease and asthma. I take blood thinners. My son's number is 415 XXXXXX. That alone could help paramedics administer oxygen without conflict, avoid giving contraindicated medications, and reach loved ones immediately. This message can also be spoken, a 15-second audio clip saved as emergency info. In a moment of crisis, hearing a familiar voice, even one's own, can center the responder and deepen their care. It reminds everyone involved that this isn't just a medical case. It's a life. Creating this message is more than a safety measure. It's a legacy. It's a promise to those who care. If I cannot speak, I have still made my voice known. And that act of preparing something so small with so much purpose has saved lives. Take time today to write or record your message. Place it where it will be found. Let your words stand in for your voice when you need them most. Because silence may come, but with preparation, your story continues to speak. This isn't about supervision, it's about mutual care. It's a pact that says, we watch out for each other. In a world that can be fast and forgetful, it is a quiet act of rebellion by humanity. Start with one message, one person, one small promise. Because in the rhythm of a daily check-in, independence and community finally shake hands and hold tight. Every year, millions of seniors are told they're at risk for cardiac events. The phrase itself can feel like a burden, a quiet forecast of helplessness. But risk is not destiny, and survival isn't a matter of luck. It begins with a shift in mindset, from passive waiting to active ownership, from fear to readiness. In 2021, the Cleveland Clinic conducted a study on seniors who had experienced heart attacks while living alone. What set survivors apart wasn't income, education, or even pre-existing conditions. It was preparedness. Those who had rehearsed emergency steps, practiced breathing techniques, and kept essential tools nearby were more than twice as likely to survive without long-term damage. Preparation wasn't a detail, it was the deciding factor. Changing the mindset starts with language. At risk suggests waiting for trouble to come. Ready suggests planning for success. When that shift happens internally, action follows naturally. The phone is placed where it can be reached. The aspirin is moved to the nightstand. The breathing rhythm becomes familiar. A life isn't protected by hoping danger won't come. It's protected by choosing to meet it with calm, practiced strength. There's also power in routine. Just as one prepares for a power outage, with flashlights and candles in place, preparing for a heart emergency should be just as automatic. This includes regular reviews of medications, updates to emergency contact information, and monthly walkthroughs of emergency steps, such as a quiet drill. It's not morbid. It's mindful. It's mature. And don't underestimate symbolic rituals. Hanging a printed emergency plan on the refrigerator, marking dates on the calendar for practice check-ins, or telling a friend, "I reviewed my heart plan today," builds internal confidence. These rituals reinforce a more profound truth. Readiness is an act of respect for life, for self, for those who care. Consider what happens when that mindset takes hold. Instead of reacting in panic, the body responds rhythmically. Instead of freezing, the hand reaches for the phone. Instead of losing precious minutes, the mind remembers. Sit, breathe, call, chew, wait. This mindset shift is not just survival, it's liberation. It reclaims autonomy from the shadows of fear. It says, "This life still matters, and I am still its guardian." The readiness is quiet, humble, even invisible. But when the moment comes, it stands tall and turns what could have been the end into a powerful continuation of life. Reaching the age of 50 is not the end of youth, but the beginning of a wiser, more intentional stage of life. At this age, many of us are still active, working, traveling, caring for our families. Yet our hearts are not as young as they once were, and that means preparation is no longer optional. A heart attack can strike when we least expect it, and sometimes when no one is around. But survival does not depend only on chance. It depends on how ready we are. The first lesson is to pay attention to the signals of your body. Chest pressure, sudden tiredness, or unusual shortness of breath are not things to ignore. Experts remind us every heart sends warnings before it fails. Ignoring them out of pride or habit can cost precious time. Listening to your body is not weakness. It is wisdom. The second lesson is to prepare before a crisis happens. Keep your phone within reach, save emergency numbers, and know where your aspirin is stored. Practice a simple routine. Sit down, breathe slowly, chew aspirin, call 911. In moments of panic, rehearsed habits can save your life. The third lesson is to create a home rescue kit. A small box with aspirin, medical details, and emergency contacts is not just about survival, it is about peace of mind. It tells your family and yourself, "I respect my life enough to be ready." The fourth lesson is to train your breath. Stress and pressure are common after 50, but breathing slowly in a 4-6 rhythm calms the heart and clears the mind. Practicing daily makes it second nature in an emergency. The fifth lesson is to leave clear information. A note or a short recording with your medical details ensures doctors can act quickly if you cannot speak. It is a simple but powerful way to let your voice guide your care. The sixth lesson is to stay connected. Independence should not mean isolation. A daily message, a quick call, or a simple check-in with neighbors or family can make all the difference. True freedom comes from knowing you are not alone. These lessons remind us of one truth. Preparation is not fear, it is self-respect and love in action. Each step you take today, placing medicine by your bed, practicing your breathing, sending a daily message, protects your tomorrow and ensures you can continue to share life's moments with those you love. If this video gave you something valuable, please subscribe to our channel. By subscribing, you won't just get information, you'll join a community of people over 50 who are learning, preparing, and supporting each other. We also invite you to share your thoughts in the comments. Which of these lessons spoke to you the most? What steps will you take today to prepare? Your story may inspire someone else, and together, we can build a stronger, safer community. Because life after 50 is not about waiting for decline. It is about choosing to live smarter, fuller, and more connected than ever before.